Greetings, family, friends, and survivors. Well, the lid's been off for a couple of days. Haines level 6, and had some pretty good fire behavior today, but I just watched I didn't drive into town to the meeting tonight. It's still going on, but I did watch it live on the internet. And it looks like the contingency line, not a primary line, but a contingency line on the south east side of the Klondike fire, the Babyfoot Road anchor point held. And that's a huge thing for us. And if they can extend that anchor point over into last year's Chetco Bar fire burn scar, then I'd say sometime in the next few days we'll be out of the woods. If they lose that contingency line and have to pull back to the primary containment line, then it's going to put a whole lot of the area still at significant risk. But let's hope and pray that they can hold that line, and also the one on the north west side around Chinaman's Hat Mountain, that they don't lose it in that steep country, because it's really, you can't imagine how straight up and down those mountains are out there, and there's no roads. It's just really tough. So today I didn't have my camera with me, but we had a 747. It looked like the new super bomber, Bor 8 bomber. He flew right down over the house, and it looked like he kind of went off towards the Chinaman Hat area, but the report that I've got, they were able to bolster the line on the $8 or the Babyfoot Lake Road contingency line. $8 Mountain Road is what it is, but the fire guys are calling it Babyfoot Lake Road because it is a road that goes up to the Kalmiopsis Wilderness and dead ends at Babyfoot Lake Trailhead. Been having a little trouble finishing off tomatoes, enough to get started canning, and it's because of the smoke. So today I cut back copious amounts of shade leaves to get as much sunlight on the tomatoes as I could, to see if I can get some of them finished off. And already saw a difference just from the work we did this morning. And so that helps a lot. And the garden has done okay, but some things have done really well. But the smoke and the septoria, those two things have really just kind of pushed everything back. But this lemon cucumber has just been the most amazing prolific grower this year. And you can feed an army. This was all one plant, this whole thing here. Just one plant, and it's still blossoming and going like crazy. And the spaghetti squash, I saw we were a little wilted, so I just put a sprinkler on a timer and soaked it really good. And I could see I ran the water a little long, but that's okay. So we're eating out of it and doing some canning, and that's a good thing. The raspberries are really starting to come on, giant, plump, and I'm just watering those constantly. And this, believe it or not, the asparagus is still producing. But one thing that did happen is there's been so much ash. I have to constantly wash the solar panels. There's been so much ash, there's hardly any aphids. And even the powdery mildew that we get at times, you could see from the ash that's all over that. And on the kale, the aphids usually, if you don't treat your kale, here the aphids will just eat it to the ground, and the ash killed all the aphids. I mean they really did. The ash wiped out the aphids. So I guess that was a good thing. Anyway, we're still here, and we're not out of the woods yet, but each day that goes by, for us right here where I live, each day that goes by, they're extending the black line into the fire. And north of here, up into the Taylor fire, they're into repair work and putting in water bars and taking that black line further and further into the heart. But it's a big fire, and there's still 16,000 foot plumes, and it looks really scary, but it's all in the heart of the fire. Everywhere it's in the heart of the fire, but right across from us. And right across from us, it's still scary. But so far, the contingency line is holding. And I'm thinking another 3 days, if we get a little bit of a weather change and maybe a marine layer come in and cool things off a little bit, 3 days, 4 days from now, and if that line holds, that contingency line on the southeast side of the Klondike holds, then it looks like they've got a good shot at extending that line with burnout operations going west, which would tie the fire into the Chetco burn scar, where it just doesn't have enough fuel to spread. And so that's good for us. The northwest side of this thing and the west side of this thing, all bets are off. Don't know. We just don't know. All right, enough of that. Smoky out here. I'm going back in the house. Have a blessed night.